I'm NichBoy and welcome to Pocket for Wednesday, the 8th of June. Today on the show, everything has sprung a leak. Potatoes, and are imitations better than the real thing? And speaking as Nick V3, yes. Alright, so a lot of you are being very good and subscribing to the new GG Pocket channel, but there are still thousands of you who haven't. And we know, because we're watching the stats. We know where you live. So if I have to come to your house individually and move your hand and force you to subscribe to www.youtube.com/GG Pocket, link in the description below, then I will. But I don't want to, because that's gonna cost thousands in flights. So help me, help you, help me save money and go and subscribe yourself, because pretty soon no more Pocket content will exist on this channel. That's gonna make a lot of you very sad, but a couple of you very happy. All right, here's what's been making headlines. And first up, Facebook are one step closer to world domination. Blizzard have announced that starting in June, players can sign up to their games using their Facebook account. According to the company, they are working together to provide gamers around the world with new ways to connect and share their gaming experiences, while bringing more high-demand entertainment content to Facebook's global platform. Also, now we'll know everything about you. One way to share will be to use Facebook as a streaming platform, and then that video will save to your timeline. Overwatch's game director Jeff Kaplan has also given us a few tasty nugs about the future of the game. In an interview with Eurogamer, Kaplan mentions they're currently working on nerfs to McCree, thank God, so that he's not as effective against tanks, and following that, they'll be making some changes to D.Va's survivability and or damage output. Blizzard are also looking at making changes to play of the game to make it look more cinematic. So when Torbjorn is dead, but still kills you with his turret which just sits there, you're going to actually be excited to watch yourself die. And competitive mode is still being tweaked, but it will likely feature 3-month-long seasons and will operate in a similar fashion to Hearthstone's ranked mode. This follows on from a tweet from the official Overwatch Twitter account confirming that they will also be balancing the game separately between PC and consoles. But in typical Blizzard fashion, all of this will come
when it's done.
Moving on, and someone get some buckets, because the video game industry is leaking like a bucket with a hole in it. So someone get a new bucket, but a bigger one, because we need to put the smaller bucket in the big one, because otherwise it won't fit. According to multiple industry insiders, it's possible that an Xbox One and PS4 Skyrim remaster will be announced at Bethesda's E3 press conference on Monday. The game is rumored to include all the DLC, improved visuals, and mods. There is also speculation we'll see appearances from Wolfenstein: The New Order 2, Prey 2, and The Evil Within 2 at the event. Posters for a sequel to DC fighting game Injustice have been leaked by GameStop. According to Polygon, the posters will come free with pre-orders for the unannounced game, which will likely be shown at E3. Next, the release date for Watch Dogs 2 has been leaked by an IGN banner ad. A screenshot posted by NeoGAF user Jehuti Runner shows the game will launch on the 15th of November this year. The ad has since been taken down. And screenshots of Dead Rising 4 have been posted by This Gen Gaming. The screenshots feature Frank West, the protagonist from the first game, and adds to the rumor that it will be a complete remake of the first game with co-op and online functionality. And finally, here are a few concrete dates to get excited about until they get delayed. The chibi-style World of Final Fantasy will launch on the 25th of October in the US, the 27th in Japan, and the 28th in Europe. Persona 5 is officially coming to the West on Valentine's Day 2017, and a trailer for the console editions of the excellent XCOM 2 dropped overnight. It is slated for release on the 6th of September. That's news. Now it's time for Thing of the Day. Is it a good one?
It's Thing of the Day.
It's thing of the day. It's thing of the day.
Thing of the Day.
Robotator is truly on the forefront of bleeding edge technology. Using a configuration of wires, crocodile clips, and of course, a potato, Robo was able to create a controller to enhance the Skyrim experience. There's a link to a guide to make your own potato controller in the description. The future is now.
It's Thing of the Day.
It's thing of the day.
It's Thing of the Day.
Thing of the Day.
Good stuff. That's gonna make a good one.
It was actually a good one. I'm joined now by Joe to talk through something.
Hi everybody.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I
You
didn't-
went quite high there.
yeah, because
Everything
I was thinking about it. I was like, I didn't sleep that well last night. I've been watching a lot of Dota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Good talk. Our first question, because we have two of them, comes in from Andrew Gibson, who says, "Why did you unfriend me on Steam, Nick Boy? I thought we were tight." Andrew, I unfriended you because I need to make space for other people. I friended everybody way too early, and then I hit a max limit, and I couldn't add people who I actually knew and played games with regularly. So I then did like a bulk wipe, and unfortunately, you were caught up in that. There's nothing I can say. Do you?
Rough. That's
yeah.
rough.
Are you friends with him?
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
What about does Arctic Satan mean anything to you?
No.
Yeah.
I get a lot of friend requests on Steam, which I just ignore. So.
Yeah. Maybe Arctic Satan isn't the best foot forward when you're trying to make friends with new people. Our second question comes in from Carnage, who says, "Are old gaming franchises such as Mega Man, Castlevania, Banjo-Kazooie, etc. dead? Do you think that the main franchises, not the spiritual successors, can make a comeback? Hashtag Eternal Champions HD remake."
Right.
Do you reckon there's an Eternal Champions HD remake in the works?
I don't know. I don't know that series at all.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I think that series is dead. No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Fighting game, no. Now, there have been lots of spiritual successes recently. I think that Kickstarter is a huge part of the reason that we're seeing these.
Yep.
To name a few that are coming up, Castlevania was the original. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is the successor. You had Banjo-Kazooie and Ukulele,
Yep.
Mega Man, Mighty Number 9, and PT, and then Allison Road.
Which is cancelled.
And then cancelled.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think about this? Do you prefer the successors?
I love the successes because usually what's happened is, big publishers bought the franchise.
Yep.
And then maybe closed the studio or
Yep.
just has done nothing with it, and the original developers move on, and then they kind of go, we still want to make that game. And then they go make the spiritual successor, and it's like, yes, that's the sequel we've all wanted, rather than the bastardized Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts we got. That was an alright game, but it wasn't the Banjo-Kazooie people wanted. And that's often what happens with publishers. They get sidetracked with what the franchise means, or the original people leave, and then kind of the original just dies off. And it's pretty rare for that to resurrect properly.
Yeah, I think that publishers have a feeling that they don't trust the IP. They trust the name will get people, but they don't trust what made the thing special in the first place.
Yeah.
And they feel like they need to do something to it to make it
Or they go,
exciting.
platformers don't sell anymore, so
Exactly,
we're not going to
yeah.
do that.
And then, as often is the case, a lot of publishers just own a bunch of IPs. They're not intending on doing anything with it, but they're going, one day we might, so let's just buy it anyway. I mean, Crash Bandicoot is a game that people really want to see again.
Fingers crossed we hear about it at E3.
Yeah.
It's like every year the rumors like, oh, there's going to be Crash at E3.
Someone's wearing a t-shirt with Crash on it, and it's like, is he back?
Yeah, and he's not.
And you've got to wonder there, something that is great about the spiritual successors, I feel, is that they're either made by the original team, like you said, where you've got core founders like Ukulele right now is being made by people who made Banjo-Kazooie and know what they're doing with that. Or they're being made by people who are just super fans who grew up with that game and so have a real emotional attachment to it. And I think that having that attachment to something means that you're devoted to making the best version of it can be.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you get the flip side of that. I feel like the other half of that is that we're moving on to these successes because sometimes there's too much baggage that comes with an IP.
Yeah.
I think that a name can sell, but it also sets a bunch of expectations that you can be really disappointed by a Banjo-Kazooie game, but a Ukulele game you don't have an attachment to.
And I feel sequels sequel themselves into a corner sometimes. It's like, we've got to change something, we've got to make it bigger and better. It's like, you can kind of just do the same thing again, and a lot of people will be happy. Just improve the graphics, new levels, new stuff, but they just keep trying to reinvent themselves until they become a bloated mess. And it's like, the spiritual successor can come along and just go back to its roots.
Yeah, just clean slate.
Yeah.
And start a new company and put them sort of good foot forward from the beginning.
Yeah.
With that as well, do you think that there's something to be said for like developers who own these IPs, and again, looking at something like Crash. Crash is made by Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog used to make a lot of games like that. You got Crash and Jak and Daxter and all that sort of stuff. And then they moved on and made Uncharted, and then they did The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Do they want to go back to Crash?
They said no and yes.
Yeah.
Like, you look at some of the comments they've made, they're like, we like making serious, intellectual games now, and it feels weird to go back. But apparently they've tried, and it just they don't find anything that gels with them.
Yeah.
As, creative people at the moment, they kind of go, it's not right. They had a Jack reboot they were working on, couldn't find a direction for it.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine if they want to farm it off to a third party that cares about it, or there are some original developers out there that they can reach out to and go, do you want to have another crack at it? Like,
Yeah.
That'd be good. One story I've always loved is what happened with the latest Homeworld, where Shipbreakers came along as a Kickstarter from the original developers, and they started making a game which was like, this is a spiritual prequel to Homeworld, but we don't have the rights. And then Gearbox bought the rights because THQ, I think, owned it and shut down.
Yeah, and then they shut down and sold everything off.
And then they were like, do you want it? Do you want the license? And they gave it to them.
For freezies.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
They're like, here's the Homeworld license, make it a Homeworld game.
That's so cool.
And like, I'd love to see more of that happen, where a spiritual successor comes along and the people who own the rights go, you know what, let's work together, we'll publish it, you get the rights to the thing, it can be an official thing.
There's that I think it's a Russian team who are making the Star Wars Battlefront 3 mod.
I don't think that's gonna happen
I don't
for
think
them.
Disney's gonna go, yeah, no, we'll publish this.
Yeah.
We'll do the, I mean, they're basically out of games anyway, but.
That is just disaster waiting to happen.
It's
isn't
so
it?
much disaster
I was like,
waiting to
we'll
happen.
publish that, and they're just sitting there waiting for the cease and desist to come in.
Well, Valve have nothing else to do. They need to balance Dota, not ship Vives, and that's about it.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much for the talk through. What do you guys think about spiritual successors? Are you excited by them? Are you more excited about them than the original IPs, or do you want to see some of those old franchises revived? Let us know in the comments, and while you're there, please suggest a talk through topic for tomorrow. Like one of those good ones you've been saving. Send that bad boy in. And while you're on the internet, check out Good Game on Facebook, YouTube, and iView. Want to meet fellow Pocketeers? Then join the Pocketeers Facebook group and Steam group. You can follow Good Game on Twitter at Good Game TV, follow Pocket at NichBoy, at Pierreth, at GG Monkey, at SamGee, and for the next 2 weeks at TobyGV. He's at GOG McGee.
Yep.
Hasn't replied to anything.
Since last time, and I said I would reply, and I didn't.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Did you get any cool pictures?
Maybe. I haven't looked.
Is there? How about this? Is there anything else you'd like us to promote? Instead of Twitter, which is useless to
Yeah,
you,
apparently.
you know, are you running a Kickstarter?
No.
Do you have some sort of website about scones or something?
I made a couple of like YouTube music videos a while ago.
Oh, yeah?
I watched those.
Yeah? Where would we see those?
On my YouTube channel?
Do you know the name of that?
No. I'll post the link.
The link is in the description below. Is it you playing music?
No. I just stole other people's music and other people's footage and edited them together.
Oh, right.
I was learning Final Cut.
Right, okay. I thought you meant I just took other people's music and uploaded it.
Yeah, no. Well, yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did.
I wrote Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go look at that. And today's Thing of the Day graphic was made by the Perth-a-Tears. Thank you very much, Perth-a-Tears. That one really hit the feels, and I like the beginning and the end. If you've made a thing, please send it in. Till tomorrow, NichBoy out.
GOG out.
Do you play an instrument at all?
Play drums.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well?
No.